I saved the best for last to show you exactly how you can build your investment portfolio using seller finance with none of your own money. I've literally done this on dozens of investment properties over the years, bought millions of dollars worth of real estate without using a dime of my own money. I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. What's up, guys? Matty here. Welcome back to the final video in my seller financing series. I'm going to miss you guys, but don't worry. I always got some value on the channel for you guys. In today's video, we're going to close things out by showing you how to use seller financing to buy a house or an investment property with no money down. I'm going to show you exactly how I bought many of my rentals and flip properties using OPM, other people's money, and rarely ever needing to use any of my own money if I didn't want to. But of course, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, I cover all things real estate investing and personal finance to help you on your financial freedom journey. Smash that like button to show some love, and be sure to check out all the links and resources I have down in the description below. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. How can you buy a house? How can you buy an investment property with seller financing, not having to go through a bank, and not having to use any of your own money? Well, most ways that people will generally do this are going to be either through seller financing or partnering on a deal. But there's a third way, which I will cover here in just a second. And this is generally how I do it. Now, seller financing is a great option. It can help you eliminate the need for a down payment. It can help you eliminate the need for going through a bank. But getting 100% seller financing and not having to bring any capital to the table is pretty rare. So you'll need to get a little bit more creative than that, most likely if you want to avoid having to bring any capital to the closing table. Now, another option is you can partner with another investor who has all the funds, somebody who can bring the money to the table and determine how profits and responsibilities are going to be divided in a way that creates a win-win for you and for the partner. This prevents you from having to bring any funds to the table. This has been a great option that I've used many times over the years. And as I was building up my own investment portfolio, building up my own cash reserves, I used a partner. I brought a lot of the value when it came to the deal itself, the opportunity that they can make some money in. And I did a lot of the sweat equity, and they brought the money. And I always say, hey, it's better to own a slice of a watermelon than 100% of nothing. So bringing someone in, cutting them in on your deal without having to use any of your own money, and you get to share in the profits together. It's just another great way, especially when you're first getting things going, to buy real estate using OPM. But here's the last one. And this is one that I'd like to offer to you as the best option that doesn't require you to share any of your profits or ownership with the investor. And for this example, we're going to jump back over to the investment calculator so I can show you how I do this. So going back to the latest seller financing deal that we've been talking about in this entire series, I got this seller to give me a loan for 90%. I factored in another investor giving me a loan for the remaining 10% that I was going to need for the down payment, for the holding costs while I was completing the project, for the mortgage payments I was going to have to make to the seller while I held the property from start to finish, and all the other fees and costs associated with the investment while I'm holding the property. And once I determined what that amount was, I found an investor who would be willing to loan me that amount of money. And all I did was say, hey, you give me this amount of money, I'm going to pay you an interest on that money while I hold it for 10% and 1% fee of that total cost, which you can see here. Now, that total is then factored into my analysis. And of course, it does eat up some of the profits. But at the end of the day, that's the cost of capital that you need to keep the lion's share of the deal. And even with all those fees taken into account, I'm still slotted to make a very nice amount of profit on this deal. And just like the seller finance documents we went over in the previous video, I did the exact same thing here with the person loaning me that money. We agreed on the terms and the structure of the loan. We wrote it up in a promissory note, and this is an interest-only loan, and it is a loan that is going to be payable upon the close of escrow. So I'm not having to make them monthly payments. I'm actually using their money right, that was factored into that total amount to make the monthly mortgage payments to the seller while the project is being completed. So again, we agreed on the terms, the structure of the loan. We wrote it up in a promissory note. We wrote up a second deed of trust, which gets recorded on the property for the investor's collateral behind the first lien that the seller gave me. And voila, now I have all the funds I need for the down payment. I have all the funds I need for completing the remodel. I have all the funds I need for making all the monthly mortgage payments to the seller while I'm completing the project and owning the house. And I still have enough funds to cover all the closing costs, like the utilities, the things that I had to pay for, like inspections. We talked about getting reimbursed, right? I rolled those funds into that total loan amount as well. So any of those out-of-pocket expenses came back to me and other things like that until I sell the house. And the best part, not a dollar of those funds to complete this project, to make that profit that you see here, will come out of my own pocket. Then once I sell the property, I will pay off the seller and their loan that they gave me to purchase the house. I will then pay off the second lender and their loan amount and the return that we agreed to for them allowing me to borrow their funds during the project. And then I keep the remainder of the profits all to myself. Pretty badass, right? This is what we call a seller carry first and a private money second, basically pooling funds in a way that allowed me to buy this house without using any of my own money. And the beauty is you can use this exact same strategy to buy your first or your next investment property too. I remember when this clicked for me and I realized that one, I need to find good deals that make sense. I need to find good sellers that would be willing to carry a loan for me in first position as a seller finance. And then I need to build up some relationships and some trust and some authority and credibility with people that would be willing to invest their funds with me and they make some profit in return too. Because let's be honest, it's hard to make 10% and 1 point or 1 percentage point on your money in a very short period of time. And so it becomes a win for them as well. And if you can build up more of those people in your Rolodex, now you can start to get creative on how you fill in some of those funding gaps without having to bring any of your own money to the table. Now, as promised, I have a little gift for some of you for watching this video and supporting the channel and keeping with me through the entire seller finance series. I'm going to give away 10 free copies of my flip calculator that you saw here in this series and in this video. All you have to do is click the link down below and grab your copy. That'll be free to the first 10 people. If you want to know more about coaching with me, investing with me, or all the resources that I have available, be sure to check out everything in the description below. Just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thanks for supporting my channel. Hopefully you feel a lot more confident. You understand seller financing and this strategy and how powerful it can be for building up your wealth, building up your investment portfolio, and really unlocking freedom. If you do this consistently over an extended period of time, great things are going to happen. Until next video, happy investing.